I guess it's comedic Freddy season. Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, was directed by Rennie Harlan, and it stars Robert Englund and Lisa Wilcox. And, yeah, like I said, after the third movie, they just decided to turn Freddy Krueger into a stand-up comedian. So, yeah, this was the beginning of the era of comedian Freddy. So, let's go ahead and jump right into this review, starting off with the good. And there's a few things I do like in this movie. First of all, Robert Englund is still really good as Freddy. I kind of preferred the darker Freddy, but if any full-on comedic Freddy worked, it was this one. I just enjoyed his performance in this movie. Although Robert Englund has never given a bad performance as Freddy, but he was still enjoyable in this movie. And then you have Lisa Wilcox as the new main character in this movie, and she does a really good job. I really like her character. I like the character development she goes through. And if we couldn't get Patricia Arquette back, I feel like this was the next best character to take on Freddy. So, yeah, she did a really good job. I really enjoyed her performance. And that's it for the characters. I enjoyed the story to an extent. Again, not as great as the first movie or the third movie, but it's still enjoyable. It's not absolutely terrible. It's just kind of average, but it's better than bad, so I put it here in the good section. Then you got some of the kills in this movie. Some are really, really great. I really enjoy the cockroach kill. A lot of people aren't a fan of that kill because they think it's too gross, but I don't know, I thought it was one of the most inventive kills of the franchise. And then the suck face kill near the beginning of the movie, that was interesting to say the least. I thought it was a pretty interesting kill. I enjoyed that kill. And then there's a few throughout the rest of the movie that aren't as memorable, but are still pretty good. And as always with a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, the soundtrack and the score, absolutely amazing. Probably not as good as the first one and the third one, but it's still really good. And the atmosphere in this movie, it's still got that creepy tension to it. There's a couple really interesting creepy scenes within this movie that do effectively creep me out. But again, it's nowhere near the level of the first or the third one. And I feel like I'm just going to be saying that a lot in the rest of these reviews. But yeah, I do enjoy parts of this movie. But that's about all for the good. On to the bad. And there's quite a few things I am also not a fan of with this movie. First of all, I'm just going to get the biggest one out of the way. And that is the treatment of the remaining Dream Warriors in this movie. First of all, Patricia Arquette didn't even come back for this movie. They replaced her with Tuesday Knight, who does a good job, but she's no Patricia Arquette. But then they kill off all the remaining Dream Warriors within the first 15-20 minutes. And the way Freddy is brought back is absolutely stupid. A dog pisses on his remains. What the hell was that? I don't know. But yeah, I was not a fan of that whole thing. I did not really care much for the handling of the remaining Dream Warriors. I feel like those characters could have carried this franchise for a good 4 or 5 more movies, but they decided to kill them off within the first 15 minutes and start off with a whole new slate of characters who, while not terrible, just weren't nearly as memorable. And then, like I said, comedic Freddy does work a little bit for me, but some of the humor in this movie just does not land whatsoever. Some of the jokes fall flat. But that's about all for the bad. On to the final thoughts. I do not hate the Dream Master. In fact, I like it a little more now than I did when I first saw it, but it's still one of my least favorite in this franchise. The Dream Master is a mixed bag for me, but I still get a little bit of enjoyment out of it, and I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. So that was my thoughts on The Dream Master. Have you seen this movie? Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it if you have. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.